Assalamu alaikum. Friends, here we are with yet another lesson. This is a lesson for 10th class, subject English, topic active and passive voice, lesson Pappachi's Moth. Friends, look at the sentences. He is not selfish. An old trunk was on top of the wardrobe. These are normal sentences with normal word order. The word order is subject, verb, complement. But sometimes we have to change the word order and the sentences become selfish he is not. On top of the wardrobe was an old trunk. This is done to express thematic variations. Notice that only the word order has changed and there are no other changes effected. No other changes have taken place, only the word order changed. Now look at these sentences. I teach English. English is taught by me. Here the word order changed. English, the subject in the object in the first sentence becomes subject in the second sentence, whereas I, the subject in the first sentence, becomes object in the second sentence. And with this word order, some other changes have also been effected. Today we will see what these changes are and how they are effected.
Friends, look at these sentences once again. I teach English. English is taught by me. The first sentence is a normal sentence with the normal word order. It has the subject-verb-object construction. That is, the subject comes before the verb and the object comes after it. It implies that the subject performs the action stated by the verb, that is, it acts on its verb. Whereas in the second sentence, the subject and the object interchange their places. Here, the subject does not act but is acted upon by its verb, that is, it is the recipient of the verb's action. We see the change in word order is effected with some other changes as well. First, the cases of the subject and object change. In the first sentence, I is the subject in the nominative case, whereas in the second sentence, it becomes me, object, and is an objective case. 2. The form of the verb changes. In the first sentence, we have the verb teach, which becomes is taught in the second sentence. The number and or person of the helping verbs, if any, may also change. And friends, the first sentence, I teach English, is said to be an active voice, and the second sentence, that is, English is taught by me, is in passive voice. The voice is the form of the verb that shows the relation of the subject of the verb to the action it expresses. And we have two voices in English. These are the active voice and the passive voice. Active voice is a form of verb in which the subject carries out the action of its verb, and passive voice is a form of a verb, a transitive verb, in which the subject receives the action of its verb. It is to be noted that passive is possible only if the verb is transitive, that is, when it has object. Passive is not possible if the verb is intransitive, that is, if it does not have an object. Look, for example, at this sentence, I teach. The verb teach is intransitive because it does not have an object, and therefore passive is not possible because there is nothing that will become subject if we try to change it into passive, as there is no object. And friends, passive voice has the construction be plus past participle. For example, is taught, as in our example sentence, English is taught by me. Other constructions may be is being taught, has been shown, will be covered, might have been written, etc. Friends, the passive is not very common in informal speech, but is a regular feature in formal, especially scientific written texts. It is more convenient in cases where we don't know who the performer of the action is or where the doer is not that important. Example, an extract from odontology. I quote, it is generally accepted that when it is exposed in the oral cavity, any natural or artificial solid surface will quickly be covered by thin organic films. It has been shown in several studies that these films contain material of salivary origin, unquote. Friends, you can see that this extract is mostly in passive voice because we are not interested in who proved this. Rather, we are interested in what has been proved and what has happened. Friends, we can change a sentence in active voice to one in passive voice and vice versa. And let's first see how to change active to passive. The process, dear friends, takes place in 3 steps, although there are some minor steps also. Here are the 3 main steps. Step number 1. The object in the active voice becomes the subject in the passive voice. For example, in the sentence, I teach English. English is the object. It will become subject in the passive voice. Its case will change, and it will take the position of the subject, which is before the verb. Therefore, the passive construction will start with the word English. Step number 2. The active verb changes to passive verb, which has the construction be plus past participle. In the sentence, teach is a verb, active verb. It becomes is taught, which is passive. Notice that we use the relevant form of be, that is, the form of be which corresponds in tense to the tense of the main verb. Teach is the present tense form of the verb. Therefore, we will use the present tense form of be. And friends, you know, there are 3 present tense forms of be. Am, are, and is. Am is used with first person singular I. Is used with he, she, it, or a singular noun. And are is used with the rest. In the passive sentence, English is the subject, and therefore is will be used because English is third person singular. The sentence after 2 steps will be English is taught. Step number 3. The subject in the active voice becomes object. In the passive voice, it actually becomes by agent, object to the preposition by. So, I, the subject, will become object, its case will change, me, and then it will become the by agent, by me. The agent is the noun phrase which occurs after the preposition by in the passive clause. The agent is optional part of the passive construction. In fact, only 20% of the passives have the agent. Now, the 3 steps combined. The sentence in active, I teach English. Object will become subject. Active verb will change to passive verb, be plus third form of main verb, and the subject will become by agent. In this sentence, English is the object. It will become subject, take the position of subject. Teach is the main verb. It will become passive, is taught, and I becomes by agent, by me. Therefore, the passive is English is taught by me. Friends, if there are any helping verbs in the sentence, what to do with them? Take for example this sentence, I am teaching English. A helping verb, am, is used in the sentence. The helping verbs move into the passive without changing their tense, although the number or person or both may change. Friends, in the sentence, I is the subject, it is first person singular, am is used with it, but in passive, the subject is English, it is third person singular, therefore the third person singular verb, present tense of be, that is used, English is, then teaching is the main verb, and we have used the ing form of this verb. The corresponding form of be is being. Being, and then third form of the main verb, taught. Being taught, English is being taught, then I, the subject in active, will become by me in passive. Therefore, the passive of the sentence, I am teaching English is being taught by me. One more example. Active sentence, Rashid will help Bashir. Rashid is the subject, will is the helping verb, help is the main verb, Bashir is the object. When changing to passive, Bashir will become subject, will moves into the passive as will because it does not have any number or person distinction. Help is the infinitive form and the corresponding form of be is be itself. Bashir will be, then the third form of this main verb help is helped. Bashir will be helped. Rashid will become object by agent. Bashir will be helped by Rashid. Yet another example, they had seen me. Me is the object in the active sentence. It becomes subject. Its case changes to I. Nominative case, I. Had moves into the passive as had because it doesn't have a number or person distinction in the second form. Seen is the third form, and we use a corresponding form of be, that's been. I had been. Then the third form of seen is seen. I had been seen, and then they becomes the by agent by them. The passive is I had been seen by them. This is how we change active to passive. Now change the following sentences into passive. One of the sentences does not have a passive. Number 1, Shahla is singing a song. Number 2, he will not write a letter. Number 3, girls were dancing. Number 4, the old man has eaten 3 apples. Number 5, police caught the thief.
Friends, that's all for now. But before we bid adieu, here is a little recap. Today we discussed active and passive voice and saw how a sentence in active voice is changed to one in passive voice and why. Friends, there are some other points which need to be discussed and that will be done in the next lesson. To access my other videos, please type working from home, Gayoor Bhat in the YouTube, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much. Goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.